Hey guys, there's a new boss in Ender's Echo called Raging Steel Fang, so today we're going to go over it. We'll talk about how to get the maximum amount of damage against it. Make sure to like and subscribe for more. Now let's talk about the best heroes, the best equipment, and whatever else to use against this boss and other bosses in Ender's Echo. Starting off with survivors, the best survivors to use is probably your highest level survivor. The common survivor isn't too shabby, worm isn't bad at all, but the king of Ender's Echo is king. Having a high crit rate is very beneficial in Ender's Echo, and that's exactly what king has. The best weapon to use in Ender's Echo is the kunai. You're going to start out with a 25% attack increase as well as a 30% damage increase, and your kunai will start at level 2. In addition, it pairs up with the Koga Ninja Scroll, so it's easier to evolve and obtain skills. The revolver isn't too shabby, but it's hard to use. The shotgun is also pretty hard to use, and other weapons simply don't get the same amount of damage, but I've seen some people do pretty well with the light chaser. When it comes to tech parts, you're always going to want to equip the precision device. As you see at an excellent grade, drone, homing missiles, missiles home in on enemies in range, and this will cause the missiles of the drones to automatically target the boss. In addition, this might be the preferable build in Ender's Echo, give or take a few pieces of equipment. The Void Waker emblem isn't too shabby. As you see, once your HP goes below 50%, you can get a damage and crit rate increase. If I was to replace anything, it might be the Eternal Belt. As you see, the waist sensor will increase your movement speed and reduce the damage you take. So if you are wearing red Void Waker treads, which will increase your proportionate damage against enemies with lower movement speed than you can use the waist sensor to increase your damage output. The best pet to use is probably your strongest level pet, but you're going to want to use something eventually that can increase your crit rate and your crit damage. Also, increasing the owner's battle EXP gain is really good as well, and that's why a lot of players prefer Croaky. Rex can also increase your crit damage as well as your crit rate. Here is Raging Steel Fang, and as you see, there are going to be these buildings on the side, I guess you can call them, and you can essentially hide behind them, but once the boss touches them, they will leave. However, they will respawn once again. The drones and the kunai will typically deal the most damage against bosses. So the objective of Ender's Echo is to evolve the kunai and the drones as quickly as possible. I'm talking about within 1 minute or within 30 seconds if you can. The faster you evolve these weapons, these skills, the more damage you can deal. In addition, if you're using king, you're going to want to look for the survivor instinct skill as well as the high power bullet. Increasing your crit rate and your crit damage against this boss will be very beneficial. And as you see, you can hide from these projectiles behind these buildings, or you can use something like the Guardian to knock them back. Here's the 1 minute mark. Let's die. We're going to die twice here. That way we can revive, and the Eternal Suit will increase our movement speed and our attack by 15%. As you see, there are no mobs here, but there will be another boss, and you don't want to attack the other boss because it won't take damage. You're going to want to keep all your main fire on the main boss here, and you can tell the difference between them. And there's the Spirit Shuriken. It took me a very long time to evolve it, so obviously I'm not going for the most damage here. It took around 2 minutes. And around the second minute mark is when the second boss will appear. You don't want to attack that boss. You want to keep all your main fire on the main boss. The boss is going to launch different projectiles at you. It's also going to try to jump on you and rush you. So it's a pretty ballistic boss. It has a lot of movement, a lot of different attacks, and as you see, it killed Croaky. When your pet dies, you can use it as a meat shield in Ender's Echo. It's pretty good as a meat shield. And there we go. We got 12.1 billion. The Spirit Shuriken had the most damage with 10.3 billion, followed by Type A drone. Let's do that again. Let's see if we can get the kunai earlier. And here is Survivor Instinct. I'm going to use my refresh. I'm not finding the drones, but I'll grab the lightning emitter. Here is Type B drone. As I previously said, the main objective in Ender's Echo is to evolve the kunai as quickly as possible and to evolve the drones. While having something like a 5-star high power bullet is very nice, your objective should still be to evolve the kunai as quickly as possible. But it doesn't look like I'm going to be able to do that today, and that's going to happen a lot. One day you'll be lucky, the next you'll be unlucky. I wasn't able to evolve anything, but we're still going to take a death around the 1 minute mark, or 2 deaths. There's a 5-star kunai. RNG is not in our favor. Let's see, can we get the Spirit Shuriken? Not yet. I believe in my previous video it took like 9 times to find the Spirit Shuriken after having a 5-star kunai and a whatever Koga Ninja Scroll. And there we go. There's the Spirit Shuriken again around the 2 minute mark. And again, here comes the second boss around the 2 minute mark. We don't want to deal damage to it. We want to get away from it, but it's going to deal deal damage to us. Croaky is dead, so I can use him as a meat shield. But as you see, these bosses are just going to keep rushing us. They're going to keep charging at us. And that's 10.2 billion. Not as good as last time. RNG was not in our favor. And I don't like these scores anyway, so we're going to have to try this again. We're going to have to go for like 50 billion. Make sure to like and subscribe so you don't miss that. But we're in first place. It doesn't really matter. So that's how you can get first place in Ender's Echo. So that's it for today. The strategy is basically the same for every other boss. Before we go, I want to know your highest score, so put it in the comments below. And thank you so much for watching. I'll see you later.